welcome to Around the Couch once again. I'm Dan Whitmer alongside Alex Stefanoff.
I mean, the Green High School basketball team has a shot at making the playoffs if they played in the East.
Steve Barry.
I like them, but I think that any team, it's a realistic goal for it. I don't know of any team that goes into a season. Well, no, I'm saying I don't know of any team that goes into a season.
Or the New York Knicks.
But at the same time, no, but at the same time, I like them.
Andrew Sissy.
I do believe Duncan is one of the most boring players ever to watch in the history of the game.
I agree.
You want it to be good. You want it to all be good.
It's been a while, but I'm glad to be back. I'm ready to rock. So, I got my wisdom teeth pulled, and then one day they had a really big sales at Sears, and so I had to, take the opportunity to get my girlfriend something really nice and on sale.
I see. I think
You had a big.
of course, you also take a look at the playoffs. Twins made it. Jeter makes it to the World Series, and he wins MVP. But
It has nothing to do with
It has
playoffs.
nothing to do with the playoffs. though.
What are your early favorite Super Bowl teams to win Super Bowl?
I'm gonna go Eagles, Ravens.
But I like the Patriots. They haven't been looked at too much this year in the AFC. They're quiet 4-1, and I mean, they didn't have many receivers, but rookie Chad Jackson's getting healthy. I think that'll be a big weapon for him.
Chad Jackson. Yeah, Chad Jackson. Once he comes back, they're going all the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the Panthers come out of the NFC.
You had Steve Smith not winning MVP, but you think his team will still go to Super Bowl?
He's got a great team around him,
Okay.
defense. And
0-2 without him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you believe hair tackles should be allowed?
yes.
Yes, so do I.
Absolutely. I think it looks cheesy anyway, having long hair come out of your helmet. Whatever's below the helmet, not on the face mask, it's all fair game. If you rip out a clump of hair, so be it. Tell him to cut his hair. That's all you got to say. You can't. Refs can't worry about throwing flags for hair grabbing. It's just.
well, they did, so I think it should be a penalty because I like long hair personally, and I think that if somebody pulled my hair, I wouldn't like it, and I think a flag should be thrown. And I think he was just a little mad that his quarterback threw a pick, so I don't understand.
It's just stupid. They have intentional face mask, unintentional face mask. A minor penalty.
And you think that's intentional big time? He's like yanking him down.
Of course, he has to tackle him. What if he accidentally grabs a lock of his hair? Is it going to be only 5 yards because he only pulled out one piece of hair?
Yes.
What if their hair rests on the jersey?
Right.
It's fair game.
What if
it
you
is
have the
touching
jersey underneath the hair?
It's fair game.
You can grow hair down to your back, and if
The only penalty should be if you take off the player's helmet and pull their hair like this. That should be the only penalty. Other than that,
I agree.
no.
I disagree because the hair pulling, he yanks him down, and that's just like.
It was on his jersey. What if you said he was going for the jersey? If it's on the jersey, I'm pulling it
So
out.
you
I'm going for the
So
hair.
if you're gonna tackle somebody that's coming at you, you're gonna try to yank their jersey
no,
down.
but if
That's how
if you accidentally grab their hair.
Well, I know I'm not tackling somebody like this. So I mean, if that's how you guys.
You asked the question, is it the greatest comeback ever? And Steve, I noticed how you said no, but you didn't give an example of one that was the greatest comeback ever. I don't see how you can't say it is the greatest. Statistically speaking, it is the greatest comeback in NCAA one history ever. It's I don't care if it's 12th grade kids versus 6th grade kids. You're down 38-3 and you have that little time. It's amazing. I don't care if it's Ohio State, Michigan. I don't care if it's Division II teams. That's unbelievable to have. And plus Northwestern, you have to give it to them. They blew up. You have to give it to them. You have to give them credit for just absolutely blowing that game. They should be so ashamed of themselves.
So you're telling me if I'm in 12th grade and I played my sister who's in 6th grade and I gave her a 30-point
And she
spot
comes back and wins. It's bigger.
I couldn't.
Well, how many minutes do you got?
All right. Well, I had like a
I
quarter.
guess the time does come in.
I'm just saying. Well, then Steve, if it's not, then what is the greatest comeback ever?
Like you can turn on Sports Century and look at hundreds of games over the
Which
past
one is
couple
it? I'm just curious on which one came into your mind.
Well, you don't have one either. I mean,
You're right, because I think it is the biggest comeback.
point. At Denver.
I like Indianapolis. I think when you compare the two, like they both have, like Denver's got a high-powered defense but no offense, and when you look at Indianapolis, they have a really high-powered offense, but like their defense is solid, but not as good as Denver's. I think that the offense just outweighs the
Andy,
D
is
in this
something
game.
funny to you?
Yeah, I think Denver for sure. That's at Denver. The defense is unbelievable.
Go figure.
Drew Brees has done just absolutely outstanding job. I think Reggie Bush has his breakout game.
I don't think so.
How many do you have the Cavs winning?
Yeah.
Get the Cavs win about 40, 45.
No,
40,
you're crazy.
45,
You're
excuse
crazy.
me.
No. LeBron James is going to improve
So,
again.
oh, he is?
You can't take. I mean, yeah, it is a playoff, but you can't take 3 games. That is, you know.
You can't?
You can, but
I
I'm
can't.
not.
You're right, I
I'm not
can't.
going to
You
let
have to-
3 games decide.
You have to admit that the Cavs are better with a healthy Larry Hughes than without a Hughes.
They are. They are. I think that he just didn't put up enough rushing yards and numbers for him to get into the Hall of Fame. I mean, nobody can deny that he's one of the best all-purpose yard players the game's ever seen.
I'm sorry. How can you not put him in? If you say he's one of the best all-purpose backs that the NFL has ever seen, I think that's Hall of Fame worthy. Do you know how many running backs have come in the league in NFL history to be 14th all-purpose yards in the history of the NFL? I mean, come on.
Sheets is a Highland High School graduate and is currently getting dominated in fantasy basketball leagues across the nation. Matt Sheets, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So, how's it feel to be dominated in fantasy basketball?
Well, I'll take it in stride. I'm kind of living off of my football days where Chad Johnson and LT took me to a second-place finish.
I'm guaranteeing 20 this weekend. I believe that somebody to my right guaranteed 20 points in the CYO game this weekend.
Really? What happened?
What, 6? You had 6?
Yeah, but I also had 6 assists, and kind of a lot of not very good shots I took.
And
but,
they were bad rims, were they not?
They were very bad rims.
Andy was my three-point shooter, not maker, but shooter. He liked chucking the 3, so.
Well, guys, here's what happened. Let me clear that up. Obviously, I thought we were down, so I'm like, okay, I got to get the ball back. And Andy told me we were down 2.
Yeah, right.
So Condiv goes to the free throw line, this little pipsqueak, and somehow it hits both free
Wait,
throws.
just for the record, I nailed 2 free throws with 2 seconds left in the game. And Corey called me a pipsqueak, but I am visibly a lot stronger and bigger than him now.
Corey was one of the biggest ball hogs of all time, and also has not grown since that year. So that's one of the reasons he was so dominant. But.
All right, well, Mr. Calhoun, it's a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, with Super Bowl 41 around the corner, Andy, I ask you, what was your favorite Super Bowl memory?
Well, I'd have to say my favorite Super Bowl memory was definitely when the Packers beat the New England Patriots. I remember Desmond Howard taking one to the house, and it was really it's just great.
Yeah. So what Super Bowl was that?
It was Super Bowl something.
Oh, okay. Corey, what about you?
Well, I know personally my favorite Super Bowl is when Adam Vinatieri kicked 2 game-winning field goals in 2 Super Bowls, and it's just really nice that.
What? That's 2.
What?
That's 2 Super Bowls.
Am I not allowed to have?
No,
They're equally the same amount of
you like
importance
them both?
to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks for interrupting. So anyway, but the reason why
Barry, let's go on to you.
All right, well, Mr. Reynolds, thanks for being on the program. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you, gentlemen. And keep up the good work with the show, and everyone's talking about Around the Couch. So hopefully I just broke the mic.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. All right. Andy, could the Eagles be a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, no. They can't. And Jeff Garcia.
No chance? What about your Carolina Panthers? You like still? Still like the Panthers?
What?
You still like the Panthers? I believe you said that a few weeks ago.
I'm not really sure what you're saying.
Oh,
but
yeah? We're going to have to pull that tape back up.
Yeah, we might have to, but I don't know if you have any of it because it's not true. I like the Panthers come out of the NFC. I like the Panthers come out of the NFC. It's like Corey on his great Super Bowl call, Denver Broncos. I think that was a good pick, but anyway.
Moving on to the NFL, thanks for the email that was sent by Amani Abraham's brother. I'm going to get his first name, but there we go. Corey, what does Cleveland need to do in the offseason to get better?
Actually, Dan, I'm going to pass this over to you guys. I'm going to go last. I got some stats that you guys will be
Okay.
Here, I'm going to start off with the good squad, and that's the defense. And trust me, they're not that good. All right. The 22nd in points a game, 21st in touchdowns given up. They've given up 15 more touchdowns than they scored all season.
They're 15th in pass yards a game, 12th in interceptions. That was like their best bet. 27th in sacks. They only had 28. Ridley had 11 of them himself. They're 29th in rush defense. They gave over 142 yards a game. They're 28th in games of 20-plus yards. And they're 31st in takeaways. They're minus 13. Here's the worst. The Browns offense is the worst Not as bad as the Oakland Raiders, but really, really close. 30th in points a game, 30th in total touchdowns, 30th in rush touchdowns, 27th in pass touchdowns, 23rd in pass yards a game, first in interceptions thrown, 25, third in sacks allowed, only behind Oakland and Detroit, who finished with worse records.
You got a good
Yeah.
photographic memory if you memorize all that stuff, man.
I'm still Saints and Bears. I'm gonna say Bears though.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. After just two
Rex Grossman, 33.
They're still not going to
I
Oklahoma
disagree
this
with that.
year.
They schedule. I mean, the easiest team. I could have beat these teams. San Jose State. They're arguing that they're not.
That's
getting
one
any
team.
recognition.
Who else did they play?
Oh, yeah, Oregon State. Man, they're tough.
Oh
Who
yeah,
else?
Florida played a pretty tough team, didn't they?
Okay,
What was it?
think.
I thought it was pretty crazy, but I really had to question the play calling, even though it worked. Like I would prefer the fake field goal pass.
Like
But,
you do in Madden?
Yes. And although it gets stuffed 99.9% of the time, I still think that would have been a better call to catch them off guard. But I mean, I think it's crazy to do that in a bowl game, and it worked though. So I mean, you can't question it. But I think that I probably wouldn't do that.
How has LeBron being out of the starting lineup made a difference in the Cavs' wins?
Well, I've said it all along, he stinks.
Just
You
don't
don't
wear
see
anything.
fights in football either, but I mean, Carmelo Anthony wasn't trying to look for a fight. He just punched him and ran.
It's almost like every pitch. He's probably making some ridiculous number, like $10,000, $20,000 a pitch. If you think about it in perspective, that's probably how much he's making, and that is ridiculously unbelievable. That should never happen.
That's great math if you can do that. But
You said Barry Zito was going to make $10,000 a pitch, but if that was true, Zito would, based on an average of 110 pitches a game and 35 games, he would be making $385 million. He's only making 126.
Any playing time against him in middle school?
Yeah, I did. We were down about 37, so they let me come in, and Coach Rich told me to take a charge, and I didn't, but
Let him run right by you.
yeah, so yeah, we'll see.
Who do you guys feel is the best overall defensive player in the league? Matt, we'll start with you.
Well, I'll probably have to go with Omar Vizquel. I mean, he is one of the better second basemen in the MLB. Sure. Second basemen, Omar Vizquel. Second basemen. Yeah, I mean, how can you disagree with that?
Well, I can disagree big time. I'm going to have to go with Andrew Jones, best center fielder in the league. And probably, I think he's the best. Oh, it's not? Yeah, who's better than him?
David, I'd probably say David Eckstein. He only did it. He only did it.
That's one of the worst.
He only did one of the worst. He only did it in the World Series. He was only the MVP. He's only been a solid defensive player for how long now?
I have a stronger arm than David Eckstein does. He goes into the hole to make a throw.
Well,
he
well,
skips it over to
I'm
first
not.
base.
David Eckstein's not God here. We're not comparing him to Andy Ricci, but I'm just saying. Yeah,
I know, because he didn't even win the Gold Glove this year.
All right,
so.
go ahead. Continue. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
so hard of a skill.
One thing that you never do, you never pick the best players from the teams you like.
No.
Kobe,
No.
Jones, Chipper, all right.
What did I? Hello and welcome to Around the Couch once again. I'm your host, Andy Ricci, filling in for Dan Whitmer, who is taking his traditional nap before his game against Revere tonight. Also joined by the Don Man.
How you doing? I'm real happy to be here. I'd just like to tell you about who won that game last night. Was it the Cavaliers?
We're also joined by Alex Stevanov over there.
Well, Andy, the Indians with another great signing of Keith Folk. He retired the other day, so looks like the Indians are going into the season without a closer.
All right, let's move on. After losing last night to the Cavs, the Lakers are on a 5-game losing streak and have lost 12 of their last 15. Dan Man, should I be concerned about the Lakers making the playoffs?
They might make the playoffs. I mean, they do have one of the best players in the world. I mean, maybe the top two, second best player
Who's
in the
better,
world.
Wong Juju?
Wong Juju or LeBron. I don't guarantee a lot of stuff on this show. Here's two things I guarantee. They make the playoffs, they will be a 5th seed or better.
Who has the better supporting cast, Kobe or LeBron?
I think Kobe does for sure. You got Lamar Odom, the stroke shooter Vladimir Radmanovich. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kwame Brown, Luke Walton, Smush Parker.
Injured.
I think he definitely has the better supporting cast. They've played together longer than most of the cast players. You know, we just picked up Larry Hughes a few years ago. Just got Daniel Gibson.
Vladimir Radmanovich
Still
just
trying to-
got there.
Okay, but the other 4 haven't played together for 4 years, 5 years.
No, they haven't.
Well, how long did they play together then?
This is like the second year that the team's like formed. So.
What?
I mean, I'm going to have to go with that Cleveland does have the better supporting cast, but I'm not saying that either of their supporting casts are very good. I mean, our best player is arguably Larry Hughes. Okay, Z's ridiculously bad. Let's just put this in perspective. The MVP voting last year, how does LeBron not win the MVP?
Because he was not the most valuable player
in NBA history to average 31, 6, and 6. I don't know who the other one was. It was Michael Jordan. Yeah, he's the best player in the NBA right now.
Damon Jones, who I know he's been inconsistent, but he's in the three-point contest. I mean, come on. He must be good at threes. You know, the reason he's probably struggling is because he went away with that leg kick he did. They have Larry Hughes. They have, former All-Star Z. Probably, I'd say, one of the top 10 centers of all time, maybe.
The only thing is, I don't know about him in the NBA is, I mean, he is a skinny dude. His arms are about as big as Tyler Currington's arms.
I like Durant too, but one guy to look for, Nick Fazekas.
Fazekas,
thank you. Carter can score at will sometimes. Jason Kidd, always triple-double threat. I like him. I like him a lot.
I like him a lot. You just got to be one of the most fragile people in the universe if you can get hurt falling out of your hot tub.
Andy, this is one of my favorite injuries since Sammy Sosa hurt himself sneezing. He injured his back that way. I'm obviously an expert on fitness.
We'll have to disagree with you. I believe that I'm not exactly sure who it was, but they got injured using salad tongs. That was probably my favorite injury. But I mean, you got to be careful about those things. Do you think Zambrano's worth that much money?
Personally,
Carlos Zambrano, he wears a monocle, first of all. I like him because of that.
I like that.
Vano stinks, let's be honest.
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm on the phone right now contacting Marty to get up to Cleveland instead of seeing Romeo waddling around on the sidelines. I mean, the punter is about 5'10", 140 pounds. He just disappeared from the TV screen. I mean.
Wait, so are you disagreeing with the rules?
Evan, I mean Alex? Alex?
Obviously he's perfectly rated, and his rating is he stinks. Yeah. I think the GM of the Royals might have rolled out of bed last night in his head or something because he has no idea what he's doing in there. $11 million a year for a guy with an over 4 ERA that's just plain madness.
Over 4.
$11 million a year is practically a third of their payroll the way it is, and you want to give it to Gil Mesh. There's no doubt that Andy Pettit deserved more than Gil Mesh, but he still doesn't deserve $16 million for 1 year.
After complaints this year of the new NBA ball, David Stern went back to the old one. Evan, is this a good move by the commish? Bear?
Well, I don't really care. Who cares what kind of ball they're using in the NBA?
There's a point guard controversy in Los Angeles. Barry, does young Sean Livingston or aging veteran Sam Cassell deserve the starting nod at point guard as the Clippers?
Well, Cassell is ugly.
Yes.
We all know that.
Oh, stole that from me.
Yeah, he is ugly, but he is the veteran. He has experience.
Evan?
I disagree. I think you take the young guy, and the one that's less ugly will put the fans in the stands. That's what I think. I think the ladies will come to the game if Cassell's on the bench.
I think he will end up in Denver, maybe. I think that, and that would make him dangerous with Carmelo there.
I would like to see him on the Timberwolves too, but one thing, they don't really have a lot of talent to trade for Iverson. Artest.
No, anytime you have a shutdown defender like Ron Artest on your team who likes to pull down the pants of other players in the league, it's going to be interesting one way or the other.
And we all know he can scale tables and climb into the stands real well, too,
yes.
So that's good.
Troy Smith will be taken in the draft next April.
Well, I think the Browns should take him real high, and I think somebody should take
With
him
like
real
the 6th or 7th
I think
pick?
that he's a very dangerous quarterback. He's got I think they should.
I think the stupidest thing that the Texans could have ever done in their life is not draft Reggie Bush. I still can't believe that. I like Dallas.
All right.
Just because. I'm just so sick of the Browns and their quarterback controversy. It seems like it's been going on for years, and it has.
Alex, how good are the Saints right now?
Well, Dan, the Saints are really good right now, to quote you there.
Philadelphia make or miss the playoffs? 7-6 right now.
They missed the playoffs. I think Jeff Garcia is a joke. I don't care. Pro Bowler, I don't care. You can't even listen to him talk. Put John Putt in there. You need a line. It doesn't matter.
That hurts me to say because we got some Dolphin fans that work around the set, and I can't stand the Dolphins.
Shaq, he's had 5 titles now, 4 titles, something like that.
He has 4.
He's lazy. He's done. Shaq is.
He wants more.
No, he does.
He said
Just because on the Icy Hot
greedy.
commercial he says he wants more doesn't mean he actually does. He's getting paid to say that. So I'd like to point out that Zambrano has never lost a guarantee in his life. So
really,
as far as,
how many has he made?
0 to my knowledge. But
and plus, I mean, I don't get paid, and I want to play third base, but they want me to be backup first baseman. So do I complain about that?
No, I guess you're not.
All right,
Alex, I see you cringing.
Well, I think 30 home runs is pretty generous considering over the last 2 years he's had 16 total.
Well, he didn't really play last year.
I know.
The year before, he did.
All right, he's 38 years old. The last full season he played, 2005, he had 84 hits.
Yes.
And 84 strikeouts.
Boom.
I shouldn't have been as the starter and maybe trade the other one away for. I love Gagne. He's best closer in the 90s, even though or of the 2000s so far. Had that record-setting streak of completed saves in a row. Way better than this chump. I think is Jadina Smoltz or something like that.
Something like that.
Wait a second, buddy. The NL isn't too good.
Oh, the NL's great.
They are?
Oh yeah, you got the Mets, the Braves, the Cardinals.
I think you mean the Mets and Cardinals.
And the Braves.
I think you
All right, Alex.
I'm pretty sure the Braves had the best offseason.
According to one man.
Yes, that's all that counts.
Well, I think the Indians had the best, so we're even.
Because
I think the Indians had the best, so apparently they had the best.
All right, I do not think he should be a point guard. I actually think they should try to just probably release the guy. They should just start rebuilding. Trade LeBron. It's obviously
his
not.
money's guaranteed, right?
It's not working out this year. It's not going to work out ever. I think that Cleveland needs.
He's our second best player, dude.
I know LeBron. I know, but I think you need to get rid of him. You just ship LeBron out.
What are you talking about?
What? You got to ship LeBron out. You got to start over.
Okay, Alex.
They started over 4 years ago.
Alex, let's go. Bring me some facts.
Well, as far as the Cavs are concerned, the point guard is just a title. Z is as much of a point guard as Larry Hughes, I think.
Oh, I guess it doesn't mean much, but it means something.
Andy, what do you think?
I think that Larry Hughes didn't have a solid game last night. I mean, 5 out of 16 shooting. I guess that's not too solid.
Yeah, but 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I'll take that any day. So solid.
5 for 16. That's not too solid.
So it evens out, so it's solid.
It's not that solid when it's 5 for 16.
Okay, whatever.
It's under 33%. Shoot, I mean, I guess it's solid in your book, whatever. If you had an easy book.
The 6 assists and 8 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that. Well, anyway.
Your man, Jordan, who you crowned the greatest of all time and said, Oscar, you're nothing.
And bad news, guys. Wofford's 6-14, so the tournament doesn't look very good.
You have a division title they can go for or something to get in.
They're gonna have
a
to
large bid.
Got a big rivalry game with Elon coming up, I think.
Arena's side of the situation. I'm looking forward to the Portland game, and it's going to be my next 50-pointer. Tune in. I think ESPN or TNT needs to pick this one up. Andy, is Arenas holding this grudge way too long? He's being a baby. You're a Arenas fan, though, I thought.
You got a tissue for it?
It's obviously tough.
To Andy's final thoughts of the day.
Well, I've got a couple thank yous I'd like to throw out. Mr. Broke, it's been great having you here. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. Glad you guys finally invited me.
I really like Gilbert Arenas. I love cocky athletes. The cockier, the better.
Doesn't mean much, but it means something.
That field goal he missed last year, and then kicker is a spot where you need confidence, and if you don't have confidence in your kicking, then you have to gain it somehow because you're going to miss field goals until you
Right,
gain
but
confidence.
I still think he missed that on purpose last year in the playoff game because if you look at it back in Peyton Manning and his history, he hates Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning hates him.
So you think he had that much hate to ruin his whole career?
Yes, because he does not care about winning a championship. He wants to screw over Peyton Manning and not let Peyton Manning win a championship, and I think that's the reason.
Why does he hate Peyton Manning?
Because remember, he called him an idiot kicker a couple years back.
Andy, realistically, who has a better chance of winning the East, the Heat or the Magic?
Well, considering the Heat probably won't even make the playoffs, I believe that the Magic will
You really don't think the Heat will? Let's bet $5 right now.
Yeah, no, there's no betting allowed.
Oh, that's right.
It's
I was just kidding.
The point,
You don't really have a go-to guy.
Oh, yeah.
When you put the game on the line, who you
gotta
give it to?
I give it to my boy Grant Hill. And if he stays healthy, this team is going to be a threat. Grant Hill is unbelievable.
You're just trying to disagree.
No, I disagree with that.
If the whole team can't wear a headband, what gives him the right to wear a headband? And it's not even the headband. He's also playing loud music in pregame. It says you're not supposed to do that. Nothing makes you more important than your team.
But I disagree because you look at Ben Wallace, and he's like a freak and all this. But then he's turning into like Sean Bradley. He's going to start listening to like little baby warm-up songs, and he's not going to be good on defense anymore. Scott Skiles is supposed to be this big coach and scary coach, whatever. So So you're not going to let people wear headbands? Are you kidding me? It's not a big deal. Yeah. Taking away my headband hurts my play, and I think it might be hurting his play a little bit too.
So taking away an NBA player's headband is like taking away the batting gloves of a Major League Baseball player.
you got to admit, even your man Kobe wouldn't have all this success without Shaq.
I don't have to admit that because it's not true.
You did pretty well last year. Andy, is DeLucci the answer in left field?
Who?
I don't know. DeLucci.
DeLucci.
Yeah.
Okay,
Too great.
David DeLucci. Are you kidding me? David DeLucci.
Unless he developed a 98-mile-an-hour fastball with a sick changeup in the offseason, this move is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, they're proving to be.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the Josh Barfield move just because Kevin Kuzminoff hit a grand slam in his first ever Major League at-bat. If that's not saying you have a bright future, I don't know what will.
The Golden State Warriors traded Troy Murphy, Mike Dunleavy, Ike DiGio, and Keith McLeod to the Pacers for Al Harrington, Steven Jackson. Alex, please help me with this.
It was Zydrunas Ilgauskas' best man at his wedding.
I'm not going to try to butcher that. Sanas Zydrunas and Josh Fowl Wednesday. Alex, who got the better end of this deal?
I forget whoever got Al Harrington and Steven Jackson.
How much of an impact do you see Ike Dugia making in Indiana?
Well, I see him making a big impact. You know, I mean, everybody's heard of him too. I mean, I know I have.
One of my good buddies, Jim Rome, said it best when he said that. Yeah, he's one of my good buddies.
Yeah. After losing their first 4 games, Dallas is 32-4 since. Barry, what are the odds they return to the finals?
Well, I think they'll get to the finals this year. Or no, I do not. I'm sorry. I think the Spurs. I forgot. Manning does have to have a solid game. You know, he doesn't have to be perfect, and he doesn't have to throw for 4 touchdowns with no interceptions.
He doesn't.
But he does have to play a solid game.
Who's going to pick up
and
the
I just want to
slack
say that we've talked about this before.
Joey Adai?
I think he's tired of people like you who automatically say since he hasn't won a Super Bowl, it takes away from what
Everyone's
he is as a quarterback.
tired of people like him.
So
yeah?
that's true.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady is tired of people like you that.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what he needs to get respect. Next year, that's great, but did you make the playoffs this year?
I don't think so.
No. Deuce McAllister having a great year. They like to call him Deuce Angel occasionally.
Miami just wants to get in the playoffs, though.
That's true. I know, they stink so bad. They're so bad. Maybe they got to do anything to try to turn their luck around.
Yeah, I know. I don't like his dance at all. It's not that creative. All he does is this.
Yeah.
Alex, do you blame the Patriots for this mess?
Well, Dan, I did play on the Green Giants, so I know everything there is to know about class.
And you score 1 goal in 70 minutes.
90 minutes.
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying you're not. I didn't know how long the game was.
But you
I'm
guys
saying,
love baseball, and
you can play for 70
that's a
minutes
slow
without
game.
scoring a goal.
And in baseball, one thing that is so enticing to a lot of people is you can see something that you've never seen before in a game at any time. I think that's one thing that makes it so exciting.
You can see that just about any sport, though.
Not really. I mean, it's soccer.
Well, like what makes baseball
Kick the
different?
ball into the stands or something.
I guess yeah, you can kick it to the guy.
What makes baseball different, though?
I mean,
Like, what can you see different in baseball?
I mean, you can see walk-off home runs. You can see like.
That's not different.
That's not.
Game-winning
golden
shots.
goals in soccer.
I guess, but like, you can't tell. Like, what is the equivalent of a ball getting stuck in your glove and you throwing it to first? A ball getting stuck in your mouth and you walking
Maybe your
into the
shoe
goal
flying
or
off or
something?
something.
My favorite part about
Opposed to
soccer was the orange slices at halftime and the Capri Suns after the game. But now I can get Capri Suns at Matt's anytime, so I really don't care.
Well, let's move to baseball, the thing where everything changes. Stat boy with our mistakes. Sam?
All right. First of all, we got kind of a big list today.
Really?
Yeah. Try not to make as many next time.
Well, thanks, Sam.
Thanks.
Good job. I mean,
Thank you.
Kind of embarrassed us a little bit on the show, but that's all right.
Andy or Sissy?
Hey, the Cavs played a great game the other day, down 1-0. So.
Lakers played a good one too. Second one.
That's all we have for here for Around the Couch, I believe. I'd like to thank you, Steve, Andy, and Corey for coming out.
Problem.
Thank you. That's all we have.